Bringing Back the Giants is a book about de-extinction, which is the attempt to bring an extinct species back to life. It's a book that I've been meaning to read for ages, but now I finally have. So let's talk about it. The book is divided into two parts. The first part looks at different extinct animals we'd like to bring back, and the second part goes into the science of de-extinction. It starts with looking at what makes something go extinct in the first place. Part 1 introduces us to a bunch of extinct animals that are candidates for de-extinction. These animals are all charismatic megafauna. Megafauna just means big animals, and this term is often used to describe large mammals. So these are some big and iconic animals, including the dodo, passenger pigeon, woolly mammoth, great auk, Tasmanian tiger, Malala, Irish elk, and more. Each of these animals gets a chapter, and the chapters are really engagingly written. They look at when the animal went extinct, why it went extinct, and then also if there have been any attempts to bring it back already. My favorite chapters were the ones on the passenger pigeon and the woolly mammoth. The passenger pigeon went extinct because of hunting and habitat destruction. And I did not realize before reading this book that at one point there were literally billions of them. Like, that's crazy. And the woolly mammoth went extinct because of climate change. And it's interesting to think about how much of an impact climate change can have on an animal. One thing that I found really interesting was that both of these animals, the passenger pigeon and the woolly mammoth, had actually gone extinct before humans arrived on the scene. That's not usually what happens. Usually it's our fault that an animal goes extinct, and so it's kind of cool to hear about these examples where that wasn't the case. There are other animals in the book that are a little bit less famous, and I was especially interested in the chapters on these because I hadn't heard anything about these animals before. For example, the Malamula. This is an animal that went extinct in 1936 because of overhunting. And funnily enough, it used to be served as a delicacy at fancy restaurants. Or the great auk, which is basically a penguin-like bird that used to live in the North Atlantic. This bird went extinct in 1844, and fun fact, there is a museum in Iceland that has a bunch of great auk stuff in it. Like, they even have this great auk pub. I don't know if you can still go to the pub. Maybe they're only open seasonally. I mean, maybe I could find out. But anyway, after each individual chapter on an extinct animal, there's then a section on bringing back that animal. This looks at what would be involved in actually bringing back that animal, what it would cost, and also what the pros and cons would be. Some of these animals, like the passenger pigeon, would be pretty easy to bring back, but others, like the woolly mammoth, would be much harder. It's also worth mentioning that the book talks about bringing back animals, but it also talks about the possibility of creating new animals that fill a similar role to the extinct animal. For example, in the woolly mammoth chapter, it mentions the possibility of creating a hybrid elephant-like creature that could survive in cold environments. This would help with the problem of climate change without actually bringing back the woolly mammoth. And I think this is a cool idea, but it's definitely controversial. Part 2 looks at the science behind bringing back these animals, covers things like DNA, cloning, gene editing, genetic engineering, and synthetic biology. It's very technical, but it's explained in a way that someone without a science background should be able to understand. And there are lots of diagrams. So do you need a science background to read this book? No. Do you need a science background to enjoy this book? Probably yes. But honestly, it's worth pushing through the sciencey bits because the writing is so good. The book does a really good job of making you feel like you relearning something without patronizing you or talking down to you. So even though the science is hard, it's explained in a clear and understandable way. And even if you don't fully understand it, you can still get a general sense of it. And I think that's important because the science of de-extinction is really complicated. Bringing Back the Giants gives you a really nice overview of it. So what do I think about this book? First off, I love the writing style. It's engaging, it's clear, and it's understandable. And this is really important when you're talking about a topic like de-extinction, which can be really technical and complicated. The book is also well-researched, and it covers a lot of ground. It talks about a lot of different extinct animals and a lot of different technologies. It does all of this in a way that's easy to digest. Now, the reason why I gave this book 4 stars instead of 5 is that I think it's a little bit too long. There is a lot of detail in here, and I think you could probably cut a few chapters and make the book shorter. Also, sometimes it feels like the book is trying to cover too much ground. It's trying to cover a lot of different animals and a lot of different technologies. And I think that at times this makes the book feel a little bit superficial. However, overall, I think this is a really good book, and it's a really important book. This is a topic that is getting more and more relevant, and Bringing Back the Giants gives you a really nice overview of it. I want to stress again that this book is not just for scientists. Anyone with an interest in extinct animals or the science of de-extinction will enjoy this book. I would recommend it to anyone who likes reading science books, or just anyone who's interested in cool science topics. If you like this video, please remember to leave a comment. I always love reading your comments. And if you like this video, consider subscribing. You can subscribe for free. And if you want to learn more about science, you can check out my other videos. Thank you so much for watching.